and welcome. Have you ever really stopped to think about the magic that happens inside SAP? Like when a physical item moves in a warehouse and somehow, instantly, a perfect financial entry just appears? Well, today we're pulling back that curtain on one of SAP's most powerful core processes, automatic account determination. All right, let's dive right in. Just picture this for a second. A truck pulls up to your warehouse. Someone unloads a box. They scan it into the system, and right at that very moment, the company's financial books are updated. And get this, nobody in accounting had to lift a finger. So how? How does the system know exactly which accounts to debit and which ones to credit? That's a big question we're going to answer today. And this right here is the core principle you gotta understand. In a system like SAP S4HANA, logistics and finance aren't in separate little worlds. Nope, they're two sides of the very same coin. Receiving goods, issuing parts to a production line, even scrapping a broken item. Every single one of those physical actions has an immediate, direct financial consequence. So how in the world does SAP handle this constant chatter between the warehouse and the general ledger? Well, the answer is a really brilliant process, and it's called automatic account determination. Let's just break that down for a sec. The two key phrases here are automatically identifies and, this is the big one, without any user input. This isn't about the system just suggesting an account. No, the system makes the final call. It's what ensures that every single time a relevant transaction happens, the right GL accounts get hit correctly and consistently, every time. So, here's the bottom line. You can pretty much think of automatic account determination as the financial GPS for all your materials. It is the absolute crucial bridge that connects the physical world of materials management, or MM, with the financial world of finance, or FI. It's the guarantee that what's happening in your inventory is perfectly reflected on your company's balance sheet. Okay, so we know what it does, we know why it's so vital, but how does it actually work? What pieces of information does SAP use to make these critical decisions all by itself? Let's get into the mechanics. So for every single transaction, the system basically asks itself three simple questions. First, where did this happen? That points to your organizational structure. Second, what material was involved? This looks at the specifics of the item itself. And third, why did this thing move? This one defines the business context. And this slide, this shows us exactly how the system translates those three simple questions into specific data points. The where is your plant and your company code. The what, well, that's defined by the materials master data, specifically something called its valuation class. That's a super key setting that groups materials together for accounting. And finally, the why is captured by the business transaction, like a movement type, which is just a 3-digit code for basically every possible inventory movement you can imagine. All right, that's enough theory. Let's see how all these factors actually come together in a classic, everyday procurement scenario. This is where you're really going to see the whole process light up, from the moment the goods are delivered all the way through to the supplier's invoice. So here's our setup. We've ordered 10 units of a material. The price on the purchase order is 12 euros a piece, but in our system, in our material master, we've valued this item at a standard price of 10 euros. Now, this little difference between the PO price and the standard price, it's going to be important, so keep an eye on it. Okay, the truck arrives, we post the goods receipt, and boom, instantly the system makes 3 automatic postings. First, it debits our inventory stock account. But look, it's only by the standard price value. That's 100 euros. Second, a special clearing account called GR/IR is credited for what we expect the invoice to be, which is 120 euros. So what about that 20 euro gap? Well, the system automatically posts it as an expense to a price difference account, just like that. And this just perfectly illustrates the accounting entry. You can see the debits and credits in a classic T account view. You see the stock account posting, which is identified by the transaction key BSX. That's just SAP's internal code for an inventory posting. Then you see the GRAR/IR clearing posting using the key WRX is credited. Everything is perfectly in balance, all determined by the system. Okay, let's move on to the next step and see how this builds. The supplier's invoice shows up, and whoa, there's a little twist. They've actually billed us at 11 euros per item, not the 12 euros that was on our purchase order. So now the system has another little variance it needs to handle.
So we post the invoice receipt, and now the system performs 4 actions. First, it credits the supplier's account for the total amount we owe, 121 euros. Next, it debits that GR/IR clearing account to reverse the original 120 euro entry from the goods receipt. Third, that $10 price difference, since the invoice was lower than we expected, is now correctly posted as revenue. Nice. And finally, the tax amount of 11 euros is posted to the input tax account.
And here is the final accounting view for the invoice. Let's just check the balance. On the debit side, we've got 120 for the GR/IR clearing and 11 for tax. That's 131 euros. On the credit side, we've got 121 for the supplier and 10 for the price difference, also 131 euros. The GR/IR account is now clear, the supplier is all set to be paid, and every single variance is perfectly accounted for. And this is the most crucial point of all. Throughout that entire 2-step process, with multiple price variances flying around, the warehouse clerk and the accounts payable clerk, they never once had to think, which GL account should I use? It was all handled seamlessly, in the background, by SAP. That is the power of automatic account determination. Okay, I know that was a pretty detailed example, so let's zoom out and just quickly summarize the key takeaways you really need to remember about how this whole amazing process is driven. It all comes back to these 3 drivers. The easiest way to remember them is as the where, what, and why. Where did the transaction happen? That's your plant. What material was used? The system looks to its valuation class. And why was it moved? That's the movement type. If you get these 3 things configured right in your system, the accounting will follow perfectly. So I'll leave you with a final thought to take away from all this. Now that you understand the mechanics, the how, I want you to think about the real-world implications. If the what, that valuation class on a material master record, is set up incorrectly, what kind of a ripple effect would that have across the company's financial statements? That's where understanding this process goes from just theory to absolutely critical business knowledge. Welcome